Yeah, so the topic is today's topic is queuing theory. So probably you have gone through the literature that was provided to you early. Okay, so you have done, most of you have done the assignments and still many people are remaining to submit the assignment. Okay, so as the topic is important, the queuing theory, so we'll go through the theoretical aspect of the queuing theory in this lecture. So queuing theory is nothing but the queues are the reality of your life, is it? Most of the time you have to stand in queues in mess or everywhere in the supermarket or whatsoever. So what is the theoretical aspect of this queuing theory? We'll try to study in this lecture today. So what is, I'll just introduce, is it, this is a complete theoretical lecture. I'll just, we are simply introducing theoretical the definitions and so on of the queues. So the queue, what do you mean by a queue? Is it, the queue is the number of people waiting to get serviced. So for example, you have patients in the clinic or the cars at the service center. So it is not only the people or the living things, that it can be a machines which needs to get repaired, is it? So anything can be kept in the waiting queue. For example, you have kept your food grains to get in the flour mill, is it? So you are waiting for a service. So that is the definition of a queue, is it? What is queuing theory? Is it a mathematical study or analysis of the queue or a waiting line? The queues are also called as a waiting line to provide basis of the decision making about the resources needed to provide service. Now, resources needed means what? Is it? It is the number of people who will give you service. Is it? So, for example, if you try to go in the morning to a supermarket, so you will find that not more than 3 or 4 counters are open. Now, as the time goes, slightly the counters will be increased, is it? So that will help you in decision making, is it? So the store manager generally needs knows that what at what time what will be the queue, is it? So he has already studied, or probably the one who has gone through the queuing theory, he will know that at this time the number of customers will be less, so we require not more than these many counters, is it? So this queuing theory will help us in making the decisions, is it? And accordingly, the resources means, for example, resource can be anything. It might be a machine which is providing a service, or it might be a human. For example, at the service counter, at the superstore, the one who does a biller is the person who does a bill. So it can be a machine or a resource, a human resource, is it? So queuing theory helps you in making the decisions. Fine, this is a mathematical study or analysis of the queues. Fine. So why the queues are formed, is it? So the reason is given, is it? What is the reason? The reason is the customer has to wait due to the number of customers are more as compared to the service provider. You have hundreds of customers arriving and you have only 10 service provider, so automatically the queues will be formed. Am I clear? So the more number of customers arriving and less number of people are there to provide you service, is it? Or in other words, it is said that the service time to the customer is more than the arrival time of the customer. For example, you have a doctor which generally takes at least 5 to 10 minutes, or 10 minutes if I take a fixed time. So it takes a doctor takes 10 minutes to see a patient, but every 3 minutes or 4 minutes the patients arrive. So slightly what will happen is the queue size will increase, is it? So for that reason, the service time of the doctor is slower as compared to the arrival rate of the customers, is it? So or the patients. So that is, for that reason the queues are formed. Fine. So the third statement we can have is that we have the two terms. One is the arrival rate, that is also called as the rate at which the customers arrive in the system, is called as an arrival rate, and the service rate, the rate at which the services are provided to the customers. So in this case, the arrival rate is represented by a symbol called as lambda. So this lambda will be throughout the queuing theory, is it? So lambda is called as an arrival rate, and service rate is represented by a symbol called as mu, is it? So can you tell me what will be the utilization of the system? What will be the utilization of a system when with respect to lambda and mu? Huh? It is lambda upon,
Lambda upon
correct. So it is lambda upon mu, because the, let's say, the customer or the system can give service to 10 people in an hour, and there are 9 people arriving in an hour. So the utilization of the system is just 0.9, that is lambda by mu. is it? So that is also called as a utilization factor, is it? So I hope these three terms are clear to you. Queues, queuing
Yes.
theory, and why are the queues found? Is it fine? So we have two terminologies introduced: arrival rate, that is represented by lambda, and the service rate, that is represented by mu. Fine. So why to study queues? Is it the reason that we have three reasons to study queues? One is to find out the cost of offering the service. Is it? Again, that is the same thing, that is to determine. So these are the things in order to find out the human resource or the channels or the machines that you require at the petrol pump, how many machines you require, or how many human resource for you require to hire, or how many shifts you need to work on, is it? So that is the cost of service you need to determine, or to find out the cost incurred due to the delay in offering the service. Now what does that mean, is it? Now you went to a petrol pump and you find that there are 20 people waiting in a queue on an average, is it? So you try to ignore, you know that at least 5 to 10 kilometers my bike will go, so I'll go to the next petrol pump which is just 2 kilometers away. So you just move out from that petrol pump and go to the next petrol pump. So that is the cost incurred due to the delay in offering the service, is it? The queue was longer on that petrol pump, so you have moved from that petrol pump and you have moved to the next one. So that is the cost that the petrol pump owner has to incur because of not providing the service or delay in the service, is it? So because of the longer queues, so it is not good for the service provider to have a longer queues, is it? So he has to manage the queues of not more than a fixed length. So hardly 5 to 6 customers should be there on the petrol pump in each queue, is it? So that in that case the customer will not mind for waiting in that queue, is it? So how to allocate the resources, how many resources are to be allocated at what time, is it? So when you are considering a DMart working since 8 to 8 or 8 to 10, so how many shifts, so in which shift how many people will come, is it? He can design three different shifts, 8 to 4 in the morning, then next shift will be 11 to 7, and then so on. So accordingly how resources will be allocated, is it? How many channels will be opened, or how many service providers will be there at what time, is it? So how resources will be allocated. So these are the three things that we need to study the queues, is it? So a theory question you can expect on this. So what are the elements or the components or the structure of the queuing system, is it? So these are the seven components of the queuing system. One is the input or the arrival distribution, how that is, it discusses about how the customers arrive. Second is the output or the departure distribution, so that is how the services are provided to the, or at what is the rate of the service to the customer, so how they depart from the system, is it? Next is the service channels, service disciplines. Service channels is a single server or multiple server, how many servers are there, is it? So a doctor in a single patient, a doctor in his own clinic is a single channel, is it, providing service to the customers, whereas in multi-speciality hospital there can be a number of doctors providing service to the doctors, service to the patients, is it? So that is called as service channel. So you have different types of service channels. One is called as single server model, and another one is called as multi-server model or multiple server model. Then you have service disciplines, how the service will be provided by the service provider to the customer, is it? That will discuss in the slides. Every element of the queuing system will have its own slide, is it? Then you have maximum number of customers allowed in the system, is it? How many customers are allowed in the system? So in that case we will discuss about finite customers and infinite customers. Calling source or the populations. Calling source or the population means the people or the customers who require service, is it? So we are not pulling the people who do not want the service, so we are considering only the population is only the people who want the service, is it? And the behavior. So these are the seven entities or the components of the queuing system. So whenever a theory question is asked, you require to explain all these seven entities. Fine. So first one is arrival distribution. It is a pattern in which the customer arrives at the service facility. So in this case, the pattern means what? The customer may arrive in a group or individually. Fine. So in a group means what? For example, you're going to the restaurant with your family. So you're going in a group, is it? Or you're going to a doctor, you can go individually, is it? So how do you go? Is it? So it is a pattern in which the customers, so a bulk customer may arrive at a time or a single person is arriving at a time. So that is a pattern. So in this case, so here we need to consider the probability, is it? So that probability is the arrival time is calculated using the probability called as a Poisson distribution. Is it? So the arrival time, in this case, we discuss about the number of people arriving at a fixed interval of time. Is it? So if you see the fourth point, the definition is the rate at which the customers arrive to be serviced. That is the number of customers arriving per unit time is called as an arrival rate. Is it? So the arrival time is calculated using Poisson distribution. It is nothing but the probabilities of the number of the customers that may arrive in a specific interval of time. Is it? So you do not know. Now in this case, you know that on an average, there are let's say 30 customers arriving in an hour. Is it? But since we do not know that whether customers are arriving in a fixed interval of time or they are arriving at random, but we say that okay, on an average at the morning there are 30 customers arriving, in the evening there are 100 customers arriving, in for example in a superstore. Is it? But it is not necessary that in 30 customers means every 2 minutes one customer will arrive. The arrival of the customer may be fixed or may be random. If you consider this second point, maybe third point, it is scheduled or it is unscheduled. Is it? The scheduled, in this case, when you have an appointment with a doctor, so doctor will schedule the appointments every 5 minutes per patient, for example. So in an hour he has to see 12 patients. Is it? So in that case we say that the arrivals of the patients in the clinic will be scheduled. But in case of superstores or any petrol pumps, in that case it will be unscheduled, or the arrival of the customers will be random. Fine. So it depends on what kind of service we are giving. So in that case, there will be scheduled and as well as unscheduled arrival of the customers. So in this case, when I consider a random arrival, is it? So, but here I know that how many customers are arriving in this time. So as soon as I open the superstore in morning from 9 to 10, there are 10 customers on an average. But from between 10 to 12, so there are 30 customers per hour. Is it? But it is not necessary that every 2 minutes one customer will arrive. Is it? The customers may arrive 5 at a time, and the next 10 minutes there will be no customer. Is it fine? So we are trying to predict the probabilities of the number of customers that may arrive in a specific time interval. Is it? I know that there are 30 customers arriving in 1 hour. So I'm trying to predict the probability that how many customers will arrive in first 15 minutes. Is it? So that is called as a Poisson distribution. Is it? The second one is, so this arrival distribution can also be described by inter-arrival time, or the time between two successive arrivals or consecutive arrivals. Now, for example, I say that customer one has arrived. So what is the probability that the next customer will arrive after 5 minutes? Is it? So that is, we are trying to determine the probability. I know that per hour 30 customers will arrive, but so the probability is within next 2 minutes next customer should arrive. So I'm assuming that what is the probability that the customer will arrive in next 5 minutes. So probably I have to take a break. Is it? So the service provider needs to take a break, so he'll try to determine. So okay, let me assume that okay, there is no one outside, so I'll just take a break for 5 minutes and come back to the service counter. Is it? So we are trying to predict the probabilities. Is it? So in this case, the probabilities of time gap between two consecutive arrivals are given by exponential distribution. So this exponential distribution is used also to provide or to determine the service rate, that is discussed in the next slide. So that is the first component of the queuing system, is called as an arrival distribution, how the customers arrive and how it is calculated. Is it? It is calculated using a Poisson distribution, and the arrival rate is represented by lambda, and service rate that is discussed in this slide is represented by mu. Is it? It represents the pattern in which the customers leave the service facility. Now, pattern in which the customers leave the service facility means it is, now you have a single server or you have a multiple server. Is it? If you have a single server, it is fixed that a doctor will see a patient in a fixed time. So let's say 3 minutes or 5 minutes. So the patient will leave in exactly 3 minutes. So the person who is not doing unnecessary wasting time of the doctor, so by unnecessary queries, and so he will come out in fixed amount of time. Is it? So we know that the doctor will leave the customer or patient within 3 minutes. So accordingly, the appointments will be given to the patients. Is it? So what is the pattern? So pattern is fixed or pattern is random. is it? So some customers or some patients may take a longer time, is it? So in that case the pattern is random, is it? So the departures are represented by the service time, which is a time period between two successive services. So how much time does a particular person or a machine takes to be repaired? For example, a person who needs to get serviced, is it? You are going to pay a bill, is it? So the number of customers served per unit time is called as service rate, represented by mu. Fine. So this is the second component of the queuing system. The third component is service discipline. So service discipline is decided by the service provider, is it? These are the rules to serve the customers. Now it is not the customer who will define the rules, is it? कौन बात कर रहा है? Mute करो अपना. The one who is talking, please mute. So the service discipline is the things which are decided by the service provider. It is not the customer who will decide the service discipline. So what kind of service disciplines are there? So these are nothing but the rules. So you have probably gone through the algorithms in operating system. So we have algorithm FCFS, LCFS. LCFS is last come first serve, is it? First come first serve. Most of the time in the queuing system will follow the first model, that is called as a FCFS, is it? You have gone through MM1 oblique FIFO infinity oblique infinity oblique infinity, is it? So that is first come first serve model. Second one is last come first serve. So first come first serve model in superstores or in petrol pump. So in 90% of the queuing system will follow this kind of model. Second one is LCFS. LCFS, can you give me an example, somebody? An example of LCFS, last come first serve.
Stack.
Example, real life example. Yeah, real life example. Mishra, bolo. Real life example on LCFS. Last come first serve. Manas.
So program counters. Program counters in processing.
Program counters in processing. Hey, आपला processing नहीं है रे. When you are not standing in a program counter, is it? So it is the people. You talk about the people. In this case, program counters are not at all considered. Program counters.
So water bottle.
Water bottle. How?
So an elevator.
Elevator.
An elevator.
Correct. So elevator is an example. You can consider that thing, or the loading unloading kind of concept, or the go downs where the entities which are kept first will be removed last, is it? Or in the transportation kind of concept, is it? You need to transport something, so the one which is to be delivered first will be kept last in the truck, is it? So that is an LCFS. So it is hardly 10, not more than 4% or 5% of the models are using that, is it? And the next one is called as a served in a random order. Served in a random order means what? Is it? So in this case, or you can consider a priority kind of concept. So served in a random order means the people may use the priority kind of concept in this case, or the emergency, is it? So the people with higher priority will be served first. So for example, a higher priority, or the people who are paying more will be served first, is it? So that is a priority, or the emergency in case of hospitals, is it? So that you have an emergency ward, so the serious patient will be attended first. So that is a priority or a served in a random order, is it? So these are the rules defined by the service provider. It is not the customers who define that. Fine. So these are the service disciplines. The next one is service channels. So we have considered. So system may have a single service channel or a number of service channels. Service channel means you have the service providers, is it? So I have provided you the literature before also. You have in that it was discussed single server model, multiple server model, single phase, multi-phase, is it? So if you have gone through the literature, so a single server, a single phase or multi-phase means what, is it? So when you go to submit a form, is it? So it is, you don't have a single counter when you have taken admission into PICT, is it? So try to remember. So it is not a single counter where everything is being done, is it? So you do multiple things at different places, is it? And then you come out of PICT after taking the admission, mera admission ho gaya, is it? So that is a multiple phase, is it? You go to multiple counters, you go to office, you go to accounts, you go to library, you get your MIS and everything done, and then you come out of PICT. So almost it takes to 3 to 4 hours of that. Then you have waiting queues at every phase, is it? So that is a multi-phase, is it? And multi-phase also, you have different people serving at different students at the same time. So there are 600 or 700 students taking admission in one day. So you cannot have a single person serving all the people, is it? So each phase will have different or multiple people serving the students. So that is, it is kind of multi-server, multi-phase model, PICT admission, for example, is it? So it is a single server means where only one customer is served at a time, and multiple server means you have many customers are served at a time. So, and as well as you can have a single server multi-phase. So that is, you have multiple phases where the customers will be served. One customer is served at every phase at a time. And you have multi-server multi-phase means what? So you have multiple phases, the customer has to go through multiple phases, and you have multiple servers available at each phase, is it? So that is an example, might be an admission process, is it? So that these are the service channels. Fine. The next one is what should be the maximum number of customers allowed, is it? Now, for example, if you try to book an appointment of a doctor, is it? It is not the case that you will get the appointment on the same day, because the doctor has a limited capacity. It will say that not more than 50 patients in a day I will see, is it? If the appointment are full, will not get the appointment for a given day. So that is called as a finite source queue, is it? So that is what should be the size, maximum number of customers allowed in the system. That is called as a queuing process. Fine. So services are provided to limited number of customers. So that is a doctor's clinic. Or infinite sources queue. Infinite source queues means the services are provided to all the customers who arrive. Can you give an example? Second one, infinite source queues. Mishra. मिश्रा, जूम चालू करके गया है या बैठे हैं सब लोग? शुभम?
नहीं सर, इधर ही
बोल फिर।
So submission ticket पे sign.
Submission ticket पे sign. So it depends on the teacher ना. मेरा time हो गया, I'll go. Is it? I'll not sign. You have experienced many teachers probably.
It's like
Huh?
Google.
Google what? How?
All the requests are accepted and all the requests are served.
So it is infinite source queues. So don't talk about computer. We are not discussing computer over here. Is it? Don't discuss program counter Google. So it is infinite source queues is an example of bank. Is it? You have a specific time of the bank. So bank says that after 4:30 we will not allow customers. Is it? So at 4:30 itself the doors are locked. But it is not the case that the customers which are within the premises will not be served. The customers which have arrived within time, all will be served. Is it? So that is, the services are provided to all the customers who arrive in a specific time. Is it? So that is infinite source. For example, a demonetization kind of thing where the long queues are there. Is it? So those who have got the token in the queue, and doesn't matter what is the length of the queue, everyone who has got the token will be served. Is it? The one who comes after a specific time will not be served. Is it? So that is an infinite source queue. Is it? So it doesn't matter. Fine. So that is the infinite source queue.
Shopping malls.
Shopping malls, correct. Those who enter will be served. Once the shutter is down, the people will not be served, will not be allowed, correct. Is it? So this is the fifth component of the queuing system or the queuing process. The next one is the calling population. Calling population is the people or the customers who want service. Is it? So what should be the size of population? So here in calling population, we are discussing the size of population. So it is the number of customers waiting for their turn. Is it? First is the finite. Is what is the size of population? One is it can be finite or it can be infinite. Is it? The limited, the number of customers waiting for in a queue is finite. So what? So it might be a doctor who will say that, okay, my clinic size is limited, so I cannot. So some doctors may allow all the customers or all the patients to arrive in a time. So it has a limited, and some doctors may have limited seating capacity. and they will not allow more than 8 people to sit in the clinic. So he will say that, okay, don't give appointment for not more than 8 people in an hour, for example. So that is the finite size of customers, and infinite size of customers, there is no limit on the number of customers. Again, the same kind of example, that is a bank or a shopping malls. Is it? The next one is customer behavior. Is it? So you just try to recall yourself when you stand in a queue. Is it? Or so you try to read, go through the definition of balking, reneging, and jockeying. So these are the three behavior of the customer. Is it? So first behavior speaks that the customer sees that, okay, the queue is too long, so I'll not join the queue. We'll go away from that center and will not go join the queue. Okay, I mean, I will go to the next center, or I'll come tomorrow. So that is a balking customer. Is it? Second one is reneging customer. Reneging customer is, he will wait for some time and he will find that, okay, it is taking too long, and he will move out of the queue and he will go without taking any kind of service. So that is a reneging customer. And third one is a jockeying customer. So jockeying customer, 80% people try to have experience, or more, almost everyone has experienced this. Is that jockeying customer is when there are two or more parallel queues, the customer moves from one queue to another queue, hoping to receive the service fast, quickly. Is it? So you have done this, many of you. Is it? But so that is a jockeying customer. So this is a customer behavior. Is it? So bulking and reneging customer does not are the loss or indirect loss to the service provider, because if the service provider is, because there are longer queues, the customer will not join. So it is an indirect loss to the service provider. Is it? Similarly, the reneging customer. Is it? Fine. So, and jockeying customer may affect the queue size, because the queue size, one queue may be longer and one queue may be shorter. So he may move from one queue to another queue and make the queue size equal. So a jockeying customer, when he tries to move from one queue to another queue, so that is a jockeying customer. So these were the 7 components of the queuing system. So let us try to understand what are the characteristics of the queuing system. So these are queue length, system length, waiting time in the queue, total time in the system, and utilization factor. So you will have to determine all these values whenever a problem arrives or is given in the exam. Is it? So what is an average queue length? Is it? So queue length is given by LQ. It is the average number of customers in the queue waiting to get serviced. Is it? So this excludes the customer being served. Is it? So it is, you have, let's say, 8 people waiting in the queue and there are 4 people getting serviced. Is it? So it is only the value of the queue length will be 8. So it excludes the 4 people who are getting serviced. Is it? System length is the average number of customers in the system, including those waiting as well as being served. So in this case, the LS will be 12, 8 who are waiting and 4 who are being served. That is LS. When waiting time in the queue, WQ is WQ, the average time for which a customer has to wait in the queue to get serviced. Is it? And the total time, the next one is the total time in the system, the average total time spent by the customer in the system. Is it? The term or the definition itself is very much clear. Is it? So the average time is the, for example, which value will be greater, WQ or WS? Sasha.
WS.
So WS, okay. The total time in the system. So when the customer arrives in the, so the total time in the system is the average total time spent by the customer. So when he enters the system and when he exits, it is the total time between that point. Is it? When he enters the door of the DMart and when he exits the door of the DMart. Is it? So it is the total time the person was there in the system. Is it? So that is the WS. And the last one is the utilization factor. So we have discussed this utilization factor rho, which is nothing but the lambda by mu. Is it? So what is lambda? The lambda is the arrival rate and mu is the service rate. Is it? So if the service rate is greater than the arrival rate, then the system is underutilized. And when the system is properly utilized, when it is equal or it is greater than that. Is it? And what is the reason the queue
Yes.
will be formed? The reason is if mu is less than lambda. Is it? If mu is less than lambda, then only the queue will be formed. Otherwise, the queues are not formed if lambda is less than mu.
No.
Fine. So that is utilization factor. Clear? So I hope all these characteristics are clear. So you can expect the theory questions on all these. For example, it is the structure or the component of the queuing system. So you have to explain all these 7 points. Is it? So one theory question, second theory question can be on the characteristics of the queuing system. You can explain it with an example. Fine. Then the system, the queuing system can be in 2 states. So we have 2 states of the queuing system. The one state is the transient state. It is the state where the behavior of the system may vary with time. A system is in transient state during early stages of its operation. Is it? When you open and store, you don't know how many customers will arrive. The customers may arrive in a bulk, or the customers may arrive and after some time. Is it? So where you may have 5 customers arriving at the time, and you don't have the next 5 customers arriving for next 30 minutes, so you are sitting idle. Is it? So that is a transient time. Is it? So the system may behavior varies. Is it? But after some time you get used to it and the system becomes stable. Is it? So then accordingly you open more than one counters, and according to provide the service to the customers, if more the customers are there, then you open the counters or you hire the people, and accordingly the counters will be open. So you try to bring the system into a steady state, and the queue length will be made smaller. Is it? So after sufficient time has been passed, the system behavior becomes independent of the elapsed time. So that is a steady state. So these are the 2 states of the queuing system. So initially in the transient state, the queue may grow longer and longer, and accordingly after some time when you find that the queue has increased, then you try to add more number of counters, so in order to provide the service to the customers. So that you are trying to make the system or move the system into a steady state. So first is a transient state where the behavior varies, and the steady state the behavior becomes independent of the elapsed time. So these are the 2 states of the queuing system. So that's it for today. And in the next lecture, tomorrow is the important lecture. Tomorrow will be an important lecture where we are trying to derive all the formulas related to the queuing model. Is it? So don't miss tomorrow's lecture. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I hope today's
sir.
lecture, it was completely a theoretical part. Is there anything which is not clear to you from the PPT?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Fine.
Yes.
Okay. So I have shared you an assignment yesterday with the PPT. Take your time, try to solve it properly, all the assignments. Is it? Those who have not submitted the previous assignment, submit it. And please do not copy paste the assignments.
Sir, actually